Hey, Mikey. Good morning. How are you today?
Hey, Mike,
Yeah,
should I text her? I feel bad.
that's fine. Uh, Susie Q. Yeah, I watched her a little bit. I know she was going through some health issues. She usually comes on at a time I'm not able to watch. I did uh, know though that she was had some serious health issues. Was trying to get a mobile home refurbished and get closer to the hospital she needed to. If I remember right. Oh wow. Well, that's she's lucky to still be with us. That's pretty serious. I'm glad she was able to get better.
Oh,
Glad she was able to get better. Like an assisted living, Mikey. Yeah, you have to. You have to be careful in them. You don't want to leave anything of value with them while they're in there for sure. But getting to the point where we're all probably going to have to utilize one at some point. costs so much to do it too. It's but depending on their needs, if they don't have family members to take care of them, you don't have a whole lot of choice there. You don't have a lot of choice. They're gonna get all your money one way or the other. Yeah, my mother-in-law had jewelry that's probably gone forever. Yeah, I don't know what her family situation is as far as people helping her out, but I definitely wouldn't want to leave anything of great value that's easily accessible in my room. And it's especially bad if the person that's being tended is not in their right mind and capable of, you know, taking care of themselves or noticing something out of place. So, I wish the best for her. That. I'm gonna make a little positional change here to see if it better allows me to see my screens. I'm gonna move this. If I can do that or not. If the cable will reach. But if I could move that over here. And then turn the camera. Let's see what that does, if I'm still able to get my desk and all in there. Probably not.
Hi.
Sorry about that. I was wanting to see if I could, what I could do about that. Didn't help matters none. That still put it in the middle of my my vision looking at my monitors. I like to have my OBS on this right monitor where I'll look at the, although I could do that. Alright, I'm going to get this set back up. Give me just a second, I'll be back with you. I could just put it down and then put it back up when I need it, because like I don't really need it when I'm searching the pennies. Going back to college soon? This is your first year, right? Home for the weekend. That's nice. Always nice to come home for the weekend. Okay, so I'm going to swap these screens back now. Keep the chat on the left side and the OBS on the right side. Makes it easier for me to see the scope without having to turn my head radically. I've got a good bit of deterioration in the disc in my neck, and turning my head like that for over a period of time starts to hurt. 84. So there's a DDO in the date, of which we don't have one. Of course, there's a doubled ear, and there's a couple of varieties of that, but I don't see that in any of those.
Remind me to play something for you later.
Okay.
See, it's so funny.
So you were at a kind of like a community college to kind of get the early part of your core courses out of the way or something like that, Mikey? Okay, well, cool. I'm sure you'll do well there. So where will you be going for on your second college once you move up to that? There's a lot of, we have a community college here that, you know, a lot of people use it because it's cheaper to go there and the courses will transfer to the university when they're ready to move up, and it just saves them some money overall on their education if they do it that way. So a lot of people go to the community college for a couple years and get some of the base stuff knocked out before they transfer to the university. Nothing wrong with that. Education is expensive. Oh, nice. I haven't seen much YouTube information or whatever on the type of things they find in Florida as far as, you know, fossils. But one thing I do seem to remember is there's certain creeks in that area that you can snorkel or float down, but you can find megalodon teeth. And I thought that would be awesome to find a big old megalodon tooth. I've got some shark's teeth from a creek that's here in Alabama, but they're all like sand sharks and stuff like that. Nothing really, nothing big. Every time it rains and the creek gets up, you can go back down there and find more. Hey, Jim Cantor. Yes, sir. I can't wait. I don't know what on the early game, but I want to watch the New England Miami game for sure, as much as I can before bed. I don't know. I might not go to bed tonight. I don't think we're not supposed to have a long night, so I should get off by 2 o'clock or so. But we'll see. If that's a good game, I might not be able to go lay down. What about Arkansas yesterday, Jim? Taking it to Texas. Almost 400 yards rushing. Seahawks, go Seahawks. I used to have a friend I played Clash of Clans with that was from that area. He was a big Seahawks fan. I don't have a professional team that I really am gaga for, but I just think that the professional is going to be really interesting from an Alabama standpoint this year, because you've got Julio and Derrick Henry at Tennessee together now. Now we've got Mac Jones quarterbacking for for the Patriots, and then Tua is going to be starting quarterback for Miami, and Jalen Hurts is starting quarterback for Philadelphia. And I guess of all of those, hey, High Pockets. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Of all of those, the one, the biggest question mark for me is haven't even seen Mac Jones play a down in the pro yet in a real live game, is how Jalen Hurts will do, because of the three. He's the one, I think, with the most question marks, even though Mac Jones has not even played yet. Yep, that's right. There were some big upsets yesterday. I don't think any of them were as big as Arkansas beating Texas, though, because Oregon and Ohio State were at least ranked in there together, right? I don't think Arkansas was ranked in the top 25. I may be wrong. So you would think, oh, yes. Are y'all doing pennies too, Stephanie? Are you just going through just older coins you've had put back all this time, Stephanie, or are y'all still getting rolls from people to do? This book had about 4 pages of the different DDRs you can find on this Lincoln on a log of different doubling on the fingers. This is the first one I really looked at. Not in the best of shape. Okay, well good. Hey, that's stretch them out there, Stephanie. Make them last. I mean, that's where the good stuff is anyway. I mean, the last penny box I did, I think I got 1 wheat penny out of the whole box. So it's much better to have some like in your situation that you can look back through. That's what I'm doing now. So a PCGS penny 86, Mikey. Oh, okay. '86. I thought they had been coin graders for a long time. So I wonder how long NGC's been doing it. Hey, Shelley Lauren. I'm holding firm. It's not afternoon yet, but we're close. So I got up before the afternoon. Yeah, I kind of started out hard and heavy looking at the shield cents, but I've kind of gotten away from this. At 2015, I'll take a look at it because they've got a real nice DDO possible on it. But I don't like looking at all of those. Okay, I thought that they had been grading coins for 50 years or something like that. I didn't know it was really a modern thing. I moved a light to try not to have it in my eyes as bad when I'm trying to look at my screen, but now I think that it may be causing a little bit of issue with my scope. So give me just a second, I want to readjust this light a little bit. Maybe that's a little better. Let's see. Better on the coins. There's not much you can do to improve my picture, but you can still see me. So 99, close AM. Right, yeah, I've heard of that, and like the baseball cards too, you know. And I bet baseball card grading has been going on longer than coins. Just in my thought, maybe. I kind of thought that I didn't know that, Jim, but it doesn't surprise me. You know, I guess the only thing I want to say about my wondering is I wonder why they're not considered, you know, a better grading company than they are. Because I've got some, you know, MS70 ASEs that I've got all 3 mints 2017, and they don't seem to have really carried any value, and some of it seems to be because of who slabbed them. If they were PCGS, they would be getting a lot more attention. There you go. All I need is a good date that I can see the date, you know, and the mint mark. That's like on those walkers. They're not great, you know, but they got a clear mint mark and a date on them, and I have no trouble putting those in an album. And then you could start doing like one a year or something, you know, and looking for one you want to try to put some dollars on and upgrade what's in there. I'm going to show you these that I've oops, wrong one. Hope I didn't scare you. So these are the MS70s. I've got the S, W, and P mint year for that 2017 year. I don't know how that. I think it would just damage Shelley. That's the other thing, you know, in looking at these coins, I'm trying to find me one that's clearly no doubter. It seems like every time I find one, it wants to be, it wants to be damaged in some way that just doesn't make it a clear winner for me as far as the doubling. Well, anyway, that's my annex. ASEs. But yeah, I was looking at that D. That's where I was at. I got sidetracked. And when you've got that much doubling on it, it's hard to say that the D is doubled or if it's damaged. So yeah, this is an 87. So what we got showing for 87? Not much, I don't think. It does show a repunch mint mark. A couple of those for 87D. But I just can't give that one a nod on that. It's just too damaged to see the doubling clearly. Who's playing first? Is it the Seahawks? I haven't looked at the schedule today. I may have to put it up on my other screen. Well, there's the one I need to watch first. So Jim, I'll have to watch. Crap, there's. So I'm gonna have to flick between the Arizona Cardinals and Tennessee Titans and Philadelphia and Atlanta. I don't think it's on quite yet. It starts at 12, so I'm gonna have to flick back and forth between them.
That you have trust issue?
So I used to like to watch the Falcons to watch Julio. Now the Falcons still have I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but they still have an Alabama receiver. For some reason it slipped my mind what his name is on their roster, so that'd still be a good matchup to watch from Alabama standpoint. This 83 has a lot of defects you can look for too. I'm gonna find something, and you guys, if you bear with me, if y'all will hang with me, you will be here live when I find it. Alright, y'all killing me with this floating roof stuff. You, Shelly, and Dad Spare Change have all got floating roofs, so I'm kind of jealous. So, you know, but I'm not going to be jealous here in a second because this 83 is going to be on a copper planchet. I'm going to weigh it, and when I do, it's going to be worth $23,000. So,
Good luck. I'm with you. I'm with you.
so y'all just keep your floating roots. Not. After I finish this bucket, I don't have but 2 or 3 more handfuls to get out of it. I'm going to start working on copper scent. So I hope that when I do that, I can maybe get into some of the good stuff you guys have been finding.
It's gonna fly. Hanging on my coffee.
Shelly asked how the ceiling's going. I told her it went real well.
I really like that polyacrylic.
The stuff that she used, the men wax. Hey, Seaweed, done a real good job. And the picture, I'll show you the picture. Give me just a second. Is that okay, Allison?
Huh?
I'm gonna show her that picture after the.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's why I need to use some of your artwork for my background.
Hey, there you go. It didn't damage the shine at all. Like,
Yeah. So this is the dragon that Allison did a few months ago, and then she got around to sealing it yesterday.
well, the drills were popping.
Yeah, and the drills were popping out. So, but it turned out really well.
Didn't damage the shine at all.
Yeah, all the colors came through good. It's not
Dull.
glazed or dull. The shine's still there. So it was and it washed up and cleaned up really well. So I think overall that was a winner.
I want to get it home. I want it right here looking at me.
And it doesn't take much to do it. So that little bitty can will last
Yeah.
a good long while. I think the can was $9 or something like that. So, yep, turned out really good.
Shelly, I like that better than anything I've tried.
She said she liked that better than anything she's tried so far, in case you couldn't hear that. Hey, Jim, that would be awesome.
Oh, that would be real awesome if he would do that.
I've got 2 more boxes that I haven't started in on yet, of pennies that are bank wrapped. But
That's okay. Just gonna see what you're up to.
I'm gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna work my way through all these and just not gonna get in no hurry. I'm hoping the bank thing will clear up at some point. In the doggone it. So,
I don't think Jacob.
and I got in trouble with, with my other bank. I guess I did. They, weren't helping me with the coins at all. And so they sent me
He's just been in shock.
a thing in the email. I told y'all about that yesterday. And said, wanted to know how my latest visit to the credit union was. And so I told them, well, I'll be ding dong after my issues with Regions Bank the other day. If they didn't send me a email wanting to know how I enjoyed my visit to Regions. And so I started just to delete it, but I did. I went through and answered some questions and
greater
what
than
have you.
me.
Gave them some unsatisfactory remarks on how much I enjoyed it, but whether that'll do anything or not, I don't know. I might have just burned another bridge.
Sad situation. 21-year-old kid. Yeah.
I find some wheat pennies in my bank wrap box,
You know?
but it's hot or cold.
Well, that's what.
The last one I did, I found on the 48th row. I think we pulled a wheat penny out of it.
He was at a vape shop in the parking lot.
48th row. Gin Cantor.
They kept theirs loaded. They kept it loaded. I'm sorry, I don't understand that. Because of this kind of stuff, I just don't understand it. Yeah, I don't know. It makes you, I don't know.
Are y'all gonna play a game today, hon?
Well, that's what we were thinking. Maybe he was getting in the car and he took it out, put it in, and just.
They had a game they were gonna play this afternoon, and we had some bad news from one of my son's friend's
Well, I don't know
brothers.
what kind he had. I mean, we don't know. We may have had it.
They had a death in the family,
back of his
so
pants.
I don't know if they're gonna
You
play
know,
or not.
Who knows? I don't know. But that's all we could figure was he was taking it to put it, you know, lay it in the truck or something. Who knows? We wondered if there might
A
be
16D to go with the other one you found, Shelley?
you know, closed circuit
Or
cameras.
that the one you said earlier for your book?
Shed some light on it even. There's so many cameras around now.
Or is that another 16D? That'd be nice, pull two 16Ds.
His mother was a childhood friend of mine. I grew up with her and her sister. It just breaks my heart. I just can't go. Mike and Jacob went shooting yesterday morning to the shooting range with one of his friends. And Jacob got pounded in the head. I don't know if you haven't seen him. He's got a big old place on his nose. He was shooting a rifle, and the table was not as high as he thought it was or something, and the gun slipped up under his arm, and the scope hit him in the face.
93P.
Bled like a stuffed pig. And I don't mind him liking a gun and shoot, but I just don't see the need to carry one all the time. Just don't see it. And I don't think he will. I might have to hurt him if he tried.
Yeah, you know, I saw that Hurricane Larry, I believe. I read an article yesterday that said that thing was still spinning and was supposed to bring feet of snow to Greenland. And I don't know that they really have ever had a hurricane that stayed together with close to hurricane force wind that far north. And I hope you were able to come through unscathed, see, William. It's been a year for weather, hasn't it? It don't seem like anybody's been able to escape You got the storms and you got the drought out west. I read another article about that out west. They were getting to the point that they could have, I don't remember, in the 30s, 34, 35 or somewhere in that time, they had a dust bowl where the land became just so dry and over grazed, and that it created huge dust storms. And they're beginning to get back into that situation again because the huge underground water is gone. And the farmers through the years have kind of abused the resource and irrigation and what have you. And of course we didn't have the technology either that we do now to better utilize the water we do put out. So now they are having to go back, and they're replanting their land now in native grass that was, the grass that was there during when the buffalo roamed, because it is more resilient to drought, and it will keep the soil from continuing to erode. So they're starting to have incentives and things for the farmers to replant their fields, and they're turning from growing crops like cotton to running cattle, because the cattle feed on the grass, and the grass keeps the Okay, Jim. Hey, enjoy. Good luck. So, lots going on with the environment.
Yeah, I think we're going to see my mom next weekend too. She's not feeling well. In fact, they called me last Monday and told me she was dying. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. But we're gonna go see her, I think, Saturday. I would go earlier, but they're moving on Monday. And I wanna give her a day or two to get over that, cause she's gonna not be happy.
It seemed like my focus is quite as short
Life,
as it's been.
and not in a good way.
Make one more adjustment on this light. Yeah, that sounds good, Seaweed. Yeah, get some content out there, brother. And if you can, if you can get him to help you to, figure out how to just do short videos, you can do short videos every time you go to the donut shop if you find something, and just keep them on your computer. And then every now and then you can pop one on the stream and keep your numbers going. Because I hunted for another, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours last night after I signed off. And, you know, if I had found something, then I would have popped on and did another quick video. Just posted it as a video instead of a live stream. I just scope them all, but you know, I keep hearing everybody talk about having a loop, and I don't. When I'm not streaming, I just use my camera, you know, that's on part of the Windows program, and it puts a huge, you know, I've got 2 curved 27-inch monitors, and I pretty much get one whole 27-inch monitor that shows my scope. And so it's, you know, it's really nice when you're looking at pennies to have that big. Now there's a die crack off the corner. That's pretty common. I've found a lot of those. I think I might put this one in a flip though. Just that's a pretty prominent die crack corner of the memorial on this 85. Sometimes they'll be on both sides. Yep, look at there, die crack on both sides of the memorial. I know, seaweed, many trips that you make to the donut shop. And you don't have to set up a computer and do all that. Seaweed, you could just hold your phone in your hand and do a 30-second video. My donut shop finds of the day. I bought these storage boxes for my 2x2 flips, which I haven't had a very good way to organize them in, and so I'm going to start putting these up better. I think I could almost fill a whole box with DDOs. And I think I will start a box that just has DDOs in it. And then this box will be miscellaneous here. And then this other box will be yeah, see, I'm sorry, see, I remember that now. I remember you saying that. And then this box will be for pennies. Hopefully that will help my organization just a little bit, if there's any help available. So I've got 2 die cracked, and then that 88P that had all the scratches on it that we were looking at the other day, I put it back in a flip. And then my wife has a labeler, and I'm going to label each one of them so that I know which one I'm grabbing. And I think I'll just keep the see, there's another DDO 71. I don't know. There's no telling how many DDOs I've got flipped. It's pretty easy to do them with just your laptop or a tablet if you've got one, seaweed. You know, your son could help you set it up where it's pretty much just a button push or something like that to do a video. But I think you could do some cool videos with your donut shop finds. Nothing wrong with vanilla. I like vanilla bean ice cream. My favorite ice cream is probably butter pecan. Favorite is probably butter pecan. Hey, Janor, how are you today? Hope you're doing okay. I got some football on the left screen, some pennies on the right screen. And we were just looking at this, I think it's 85. Yeah, 1985. Got some die cracks on both sides of the memorial. There's a misaligned die class you can look for on the back. I like this little scope that I recently got that my wife sniggered about when I said this was going to be my last scope. But of the ones that I bought so far, I like this one the best. Although it's it's a little bit funny when you get it in the box. Let me go ahead and tell you, because it comes with attachments. I can find it. Little sheet. But I was somewhat a little bit shocked when I started reading the instructions. And yes, I do read instructions on occasion. That's right, seaweed, that's awesome. But I may get a loop, you know, one day. Just to, you know, cause that would be something that would be something you could just slip in your pocket. And I mean, I get change at work because sometimes I cheat our snack machine. If you put $1 in and then decide you don't want anything, it gives you back change instead of giving your dollar back. and it will take up to a $5 bill. So sometimes if I'm really bored, I can put a $5 bill and get $5 worth of quarters back. And if I had a little loop, I could do coin roll hunts on my lunch. So I think I am going to flip this one for the die cracks on the Capitol building. Well, I don't know. It may be not be a good topic for a stream, but let's just say that this scope comes with attachments that you can use it in a variety of places. Like an endoscope type situation. Okay, Seaweed, be careful.
Wow.
So that's the third different coin that we found with die crack. Oh, actually, the second one we found with die cracks, and then the one that had all the scratching on it that I was asking about that looked kind of off. But it was an interesting
That
find.
makes it different for sure.
I thought that was nice. I remembered on those that it sometime. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get one just to keep in my pocket. Not in any hurry for it, but maybe have one for my lunchbox so that if I'm sitting it, because I've had people come up before and ask me about a coin, this, that, or other thing. And I bet they would be shocked if I whooped the loop out and went to staring at it. That guy never did bring me my red book back, my little book. I bought a new one. I got a 2021 edition. He still got the 2000. I don't guess it matters, but I know he doesn't have that much coinage. I don't know why he ain't bought it back yet. I hate it when I let somebody borrow something and it just kind of goes off into the blue yonder.
Yeah.
I've always been particular about books anyway. Back when I used to do paper book, printed books. Yeah, I'm way behind on that too. Not that I got a ton to do. I just haven't motivated myself to do the little I've got. I've got St. Patrick package, and I got 2 coins for Seaweed to send. So, like, I need to send a dime. Those of you that do a lot of shipping, like you, Gina, I mean, is it okay to put a dime in like a thank you card note and just stick a stamp on it and ship it that way? Or do I need to go and do first class so I can get a tracking number and what have you on it? I guess it a lot of that depends on the value. I mean, it's a barber dime. So, if you were going to ship that to somebody, Gina, would you go to the post office and ship it first class with a tracking number, or do you think it's okay to stamp ship that type of stuff? I've got two $50 proof that I need to send, and I've got the one barber that I need to send. But everything that I have shipped so far, I've shipped with first class mail or whatever from the post office, but was wondering if I could get away with just doing stamp for small items. I don't know. Okay, Mikey, be careful traveling back to college. We'll see you soon. I may do some early morning streams this week, continuing to look through these pennies. So yeah, I thought I've got some thank you cards that are heavy cardstock, and I thought to put the plastic flips, inside a thank you card and put it in an envelope with a stamp. But I did that no, I did not do it in a very good envelope. I sent something to Shelly that didn't make it, but I don't think I did a very good job in packaging that to make it through the post office. But I think if I kept it flat enough that it should go that way. Really, I just need to get my fat butt moving and go by the post office and get this done. It doesn't take but 10 minutes. I'm just a homebody. I get stuck at home and I don't want to go nowhere. Luckily, I'm not like Pa and have 40 packages to try to ship every week. And some of it would help too, but I'm just not doing enough to justify getting any of the programs where you can print packaging slips at home, and then you've already paid for it. You just walk in, hand it to them, and walk back out. So I really don't want to put the extra money into that no more than I have to ship stuff. Oh well, part of it. I'll get it done. I will get it done. So Arizona jumped ahead 10-0 over Tennessee. Let's see what the other scores are looking like. Seven to 3 Eagles over Atlanta on the other game. Okay, thanks, High Pocket. I think I'm going to do. I feel bad doing that. I feel like I'm being too cheap, I guess. You know, I like having the tracking information on it, but it's a dime. You know, I want to pay $5 to send a dime. So let me show you what I've got to do that with. If I can find everything. So I would take it and put it inside this, you know, and fold that over. And then I'd have the coin inside that, and then that inside of a sturdy small envelope. And I mean, for a dime, I mean, you think that would go? And then the other thing I've got to do is these two proof halves. But I mean, they would fit in there easily too. I could even open it up to make them flatter. Actually, I don't guess nothing on the on first class. There's I don't know if there's any insurance on it at all. Is there? That's a good point, Hot Pockets. Okay, so go with the first class on the halves and then do a card with the dime. That will make that easier. I'm not sure, Stephanie, how they do that nowadays. So I'll get that dime out today. And then all I'll have to do is drop that other one off. And I've got to go out one morning anyway, so. And actually, it's the weeks that I'm on nights is the best time for me to do it, because it's really easy for me, because I get up at, you know, I try to go to bed earlier, and I'm usually up by 2 o'clock or so in the afternoon, and I don't have to leave till 4:30. And so when I need to go by the post office, I just leave at 4 and take that 30 minutes, and I'm doing that on the way to work. I'm not having to make a special trip out, so it's a lot easier for me to try to ship things when I'm on nights. So I'll get that done this week or see week. And then she's helping me out too with sending a couple of pennies to be graded. So be interested to see how they do. You guys, I'm going to take just a couple of a minute break and use the facilities, and I'll be back shortly. I'm back. I'm sorry it took longer than I thought. I was going to get the label machine to do something with, but I think I'm going to get batteries and get that where it's hooked up to batteries, and it'll make it more convenient just to pop it out and stick a label on something. Oh, that's my old. That was from Copper Owl. That was my birthday present from Copper Owl Coins, and I never did hear or see a comment video for him this week, whether or not he was going to be doing a stream. Has anybody else seen that? See, T-Wolf got a comment up, but I don't think I've seen Copper Owl all week much on. I hope he's okay. So what were we looking at there? 2002. Yeah, that's all good, Hot Pockets. I mean, you ain't gotta worry about me coming back and say, oh, you told me to do this and it didn't work. I'm just trying to gain from y'all's experience. At the end of the day, it would be just a dime, but hey, Wolf, Riviera, how are you doing? But I still don't want to lose it, but because it is a nice barber dime that I found, and it's one that Patrick needs for his album. No, it's not a barber dime. It's a Rosie. I mean, a Merc dime that he needed for his album. Yeah, it was a Merc dime. 1918, I think, that he needed. 1918. And I had it sitting in a row. I told him I would look through my stack and see what I had. And I didn't think I would have anything he needed. But I did, so you never know. Unless you ask. $19.90. And these coins are nasty. Nasty coins. Thing is, a lot of these, if I found a variety, it wouldn't be worth anything because the coins are in such bad shape. But it would still be one you could say that I got it. I would still put it in flip and put it in the little collection. It's like my wide AM. It ain't in the greatest shape, but it's a wide AM. Oh, I didn't realize that, Wolf. I think High Pockets is right. With that dime, it would be flat enough to run through without an issue. So I think I'm going to drop that in an envelope and get that to Patrick that way, and then I'm going to drop by the post office and mail the 2 halves of sea weave with not priority, but first class mail. I am not a shipping knowledgeable person. Inner ear problem. Are you having vertigo or? Man, I'll tell you what, I suffered from that as a child. And it was one of those things that would just hit you all of a sudden. And 1 minute I would be fine, and the next minute I would be so dizzy I'd be laying on the floor. And it would last a day, and then it would go away, but it just never did know when it was going to come on. Thanks, High Pocket. You're a lot more experienced than I am. I appreciate your input. You don't ever have to worry about me coming back and yan about it. If I didn't want the advice, I wouldn't ask for it. Just trying to learn from the pros. Yep, that's not fun. I don't like to be dizzy. Do not like to be dizzy.
People pay good money for that.
Do what?
People pay good money for that.
For what?
Getting dizzy.
Oh, getting dizzy? Yeah, I guess so.
Works. People pay lots of money for that. Not that I recommend it, but just saying.
That may be worse. You can't get away from that, Wolf.
What?
Have you been to the doctor? His ears are ringing and buzzing.
Oh, that would drive you nuts. I hate that for him. '95 has some interesting tonage and colors in it. And gunk too. It's got a nice patina. Almost like it's been coated with something. Hey, Slick One, how are you today? That's like you go to the doctor and say, "Doctor, it hurts when I do this." He said, "Well, don't do that." Doctor, I did the same thing. I've got a positioning issue with my head that if I try to, like if I was to scoot my chair back and try to look under my desk and then back up at the top of the desk and turn my head that way, then I get horrible vertigo. And he called it positional vertigo. So, you know, and it's more like, he was more like, well, don't do that. There's nothing he can do for it. So, but it's gotten better for some reason of late. I'm not experiencing it as much when I turn my head. I had a friend that got something going on years ago, and he missed 2 months of work. You know, he could not walk a straight line. He was scared to drive. And with the job that he had, we didn't want him doing that job, you know, battling vertigo.
But I don't know what they finally come up with as a cause, but it got better eventually. But it sure did take him a long time. Sure did take him a long time. Yeah, I've got a lot of issues with my neck. I had a lot of issues with inner ear trouble when I was a kid. It seemed to have gotten better as I gotten older. I mean, I haven't had that sudden nauseous vertigo in a long time, but I've always had motion problems. I remember we went to Disney World one year and there was a ride. It wasn't really a ride. It was a kind of a movie theater type experience where you went in and it was an aerial, like an airplane flying through a countryside, valleys and ravines and over treetops but it was on a big screen, and he was looping and twisting in and out, and it made me sick at my stomach. Well, I had to close my eyes. I couldn't watch all of it. And I can ride roller coasters as long as they're not too crazy, but those rides that go around and around in circles, nah.
My favorite ones.
Yeah, my wife's favorite rides, nah.
I had to ride alone.
She had to ride by herself. Something about going in circles that does not agree with me. So this only 1990. I keep looking on the LIB. There's a DDO on it that I would like to find because it's got really good examples of the doubling on it. But I haven't found one. I've looked at a lot of 90s during this hunt. But until I started looking through this book and stuff, I didn't know there was a DDO on a 1990. So thank you again, Stephanie. Yep, that's one I don't do. The Kilter Whirl is another one. I've rode it for a few times, but you know, when I did, I had to really have
I love that ride.
Yeah, and Allison loved the Kilter Whirl, and so I rode it because I was a young teenager then,
Trying to impress me.
And I was going to impress my woman, and there wasn't no, but I paid for it. I never got sick, but I never liked it. And I would always have to sit in it, just put my head against the backrest, the headrest, and just not move, And she'd be saying, "Ooh," and I'd be like, "Yeah, get me off this thing." When's it gonna be over? And then the worst was when you rode it. Yeah, Shelly, yeah. Shelly said she loved the tilt-a-whirl.
I do.
And then the worst is when it was like late in the night before they fixed the clothes and they'd let you ride extra long. Like, oh boy.
Woohoo.
I cannot do the round and around.
Oh, that's sad.
Shelly said she wished y'all lived closer.
I do too. Nate said his dad got sick riding the Dumbo ride.
Oh. Well, High Pocket was saying that his wife made them stop the teacups
Oh no.
at the state fair, and she got off. I tell you what, it's awful living with this type
Hey,
of.
I can relate because that one time I was sick on the ship.
Yeah.
It
Oh
made
yeah,
me
that's
think about
right.
that.
Yeah,
And that's the worst sick I've ever been.
Allison, she suffered with seasickness on the first
One
cruise
time.
that we went on, and
I mean, we were in 40-foot waves.
yeah, there was a hurricane coming into to the Alaskan coast. We were doing an Alaskan cruise. Matter of fact, it was so bad that they changed the itinerary to kind of keep things close to land, and because it was the waves out in the bay, out in the deeper ocean, were 30, 40-foot waves, and
I got so sick. It was bad.
it got Allison really, really good, and crazily, it didn't affect me that
No,
much.
that was weird.
Because I remember the first day it was so bad, and not like out of the port, and the first day was fine, but then we kind of started to go to bed that night. It started coming in, and I had ordered room service breakfast, coffee and eggs and bacon and everything that goes with it,
By God, you got up and ate it.
Yeah, and Allison's over there just, doing her thing, and I got a full breakfast. I had to eat both our
You had to eat
breakfasts
both
that
of them.
morning.
Yeah.
And the waves were so bad, literally, your coffee cup would slide from one side of the tray to the other, one side of the tray to the other.
Awful.
Uh,
It's the only time I've ever been seasick.
yeah, that was the only time. But that was pretty bad. Once we got out of, and back into the inner passageways, it wasn't so bad. And she got better. But
I wasn't the only one sick though.
no, you ended up enjoying it though. You got to where you could enjoy
Yeah,
it.
the whole boat was.
Yeah, it wasn't.
There were
wasn't
lots
so
of people
bad.
sick.
Once her stomach got a little better, we started drinking the wine, and it was a lot better. I don't remember what it was, but it got a lot better when we started drinking the wine for some reason.
What was that wine we liked so much?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
Brazil?
It was kind of a white wine. It was a kind of a fruity.
I can't remember the name of it.
It's
though.
no high dollar stuff. You can buy it at
Brazil.
Publix about $15 a bottle.
But it was good.
But it was good. And they had it last time. We got it the second time we went too.
I can't think of the kind of wine it was though. It starts with an R.
Riesling.
Yes, a Riesling.
Yeah, Riesling. I'm probably butchering that
Riesling.
pronunciation. I think it was a French or German wine.
Mm-hmm. Just a very mild.
Yeah, it was good.
Yep. Like we're wine connoisseurs.
Yeah. And it was funny because I didn't want to act like I didn't know anything about it. And so the guy would bring the bottle out, and pour a little sip in my cup. and I would pick it up and look at it and
Swirl
whirl
it
it around in the cup a little bit, take a sip, like, yeah.
That's fine.
Do y'all remember that movie with Woody Harrelson and Kiefer Sutherland? I think it was called The Cowboy Way, and they had went to New York to find a friend of theirs that had gotten into some trouble, and they went to this high-dollar restaurant, and they ordered, I don't know, $100 or $200 bottle of wine or something like that. And Woody Harrelson looked at those maitre d's and said, "Can I get ice with that?"
That was a hilarious movie. I might have to watch that.
Yeah, that was a funny movie. His name was Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
He kept that dried pepper around his neck.
Forgot about that movie. Need to watch that again.
Yeah, I haven't ever done that either, High Pocket. But if y'all have never watched Cowboy Way, y'all should check that out. That's a funny, funny movie.
Whitewater rafting would scare me to death. Not that I'd be scared of the water, I'd be scared of hitting my head on a rock.
Yeah.
So, I'd get thrown out and break a leg. I'd be the one to have to be airlifted.
Yeah, 1 minute you're in the boat, next minute you're out.
Yeah, that'd be me.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. And I'd break something. No doubt.
I saw an advertisement for a cruise line recently, and they had go-kart racing
Oh, dear God.
on the upper deck. Can you imagine? Surely to goodness they would shut it down in rough weather or something like
They
that.
have
But
to.
still, you know, the riding the go-kart and then the boat rocking back and forth, and
I mean, at some point, it's just too much to put on a boat.
yeah.
Of course, I'm not young and stupid anymore, so. Young and stupid probably would have loved it. Of course, we do the old people cruise to Alaska when we're.
Yeah, we're in the old people cruise. We always have been. I don't know. The thing I like about cruises, it's just all inclusive. I mean, how did you do, seaweed? What's the take for the day?
No, that's fine.
You need to get sponsorship from the donut shop, seaweed.
You need to
Okay. Oh well. You
Donut
can't
shop.
find fines every day.
You
Do
need
what,
to
Allison?
find a donut shop that, like he's got.
Yeah, right across the street.
Yeah. I don't care if it's across the street or not, just somebody to give you coins.
Oh, yeah. I think if I'm correct, seaweed, that it's he knows a teller or the person that runs the shop, and if they come across anything interesting, they keep it for him.
Nice. Tanya?
The what?
Have you thought about calling Tanya?
Yeah, or her or Stephanie, either one. You know, I see Stephanie when I go in there to cash my coins in.
Yeah, I just wondered.
I've thought about it, but I'm also like, I don't, you know, interact with those guys.
I know.
And I would feel uncomfortable saying, hey, can you help me out?
Yeah, I know.
So I just don't ride that
I
way.
know. I thought that too, but it was just a thought.
But I have thought about it.
They do work there.
They do.
Yeah.
And
They might could help.
I want to say that Bill's brother,
Oh, he is.
he's
yeah.
like one of the upper execs
He's a
there.
bigwig.
Yeah.
So,
But I probably should have used more reserve in my bashing of the company.
well, they ask.
They did, and I was honest.
They ask. Don't ask if you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Be different if you just went in there and bashed them, but they asked you. Well, you told
And
them.
that's the biggest thing that gets me about this Regions deal too, is that they said, I can get you halves. Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Cargyle, we can order you halves. I was like, well, good. Order me some.
Nope, we can't.
Yeah, we can't. And not only that, we're not going to get you any more nickels either. We're not going to work with your nickels either.
Or pennies.
You should have seen that guy's face when I walked in there with them 2 boxes of nickels Friday.
I can imagine. But
That's right.
you'll find a bank. You're just gonna have to put some time into it. You gotta get a equity loan anyway, so that might help shopping.
Yeah, that's another angle that I'm working on. I need to do some work on the house, and I thought about doing an equity line on the house to facilitate doing that. Whoo, look at that die crack. What year is that? 87. I was maybe wanting to shop around banks and see who would float me the home equity line and say, well, I'll be glad to do that with you, but I got a requirement. That's a long die crack. That's almost a quarter of the circumference.
Is it on
of
the edge of the coin there?
Yeah,
Okay.
between the L in Liberty and the I in N.
I was trying to see what you were talking about.
That's funny, see
Oh,
what
I
you...
see it.
Oh, so that's on both sides too. So that's interesting. That could be a keeper. Another die crack coin.
Oh, me.
I'm gonna add this to the die crack collection. Die crack both sides. I guess the only thing about using something like doing business from a home. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, Shelley. I don't guess he is. I haven't seen any kind of comment video or any information coming from his stream today on if he was streaming or not. So I'm not real sure. I looked on my notification to see if I had missed a comment video, but I don't see anything. And I don't really remember seeing him on streams lately either. He might be out of town. Could be out of town. Well, you're more than welcome to be here, Shelley. Not the corner of excitement, but interesting nonetheless. Whew, Arizona's pounding Tennessee. I told Austin about the movie y'all went to see, Shelley.
About what?
I said I told you about the movie that Shelley and them went to see.
Oh, yeah.
With the dragons.
I'm interested. Like me some dragons. Oh, and I like movies too. If anybody gets Amazon videos, the Tomorrow War is really good.
Oh. Allison's recommending the Tomorrow War. Now, I was watching some YouTube previews of upcoming movies and what have you, and they did a really in-depth preview of The Wheel of Time that's coming out on Amazon.
There's a preview on there.
Yeah, in November, and I'm really excited about seeing that.
I tried to watch. I thought the movie was out.
No, yep, it looked really good. It looked really well made. It doesn't look too campy. We'll just have to see how they do with it, but it looked like it could be really, really good. Okay, Shelley. Okay, well that's still 69. That's a good find. An older coin. It's still nice to get those older quarters. So what year did they quit putting silver in quarters in Canada, Seaweed? I'm gonna get me a little something to drink. I'll be right back. Oh, cool. Well, that wasn't far off, Seaweed. 1 year. So they were steel and 50% silver, Seaweed? Or iron or steel, I guess. 50% silver. Had to be steel to pick up for a magnet, to pick them up. okay, Stephanie. No change here. We did find one that had a big die crack a little bit ago, but nothing extraordinary. There's nothing wrong with a Sunday afternoon nap there, Wolf Riviera. Don't be knocking a nap. That's what she likes about my stream so much, that it's relaxing. Okay, well, it must. Okay. I didn't think that too many countries made that many steel scents. I thought probably more aluminum and silver than a steel scent and silver, but I know nothing. When I used to watch NASCAR all the time, every weekend, I was in my lazy boy in front of the TV when the race started. And it never failed. After about 30 laps, I'd go to sleep, and then I would wake up with about 30 laps to go. Man, it was perfect way to spend a Sunday afternoon. I know what you mean, Stephanie.
It's all good. Phasmophobia got a new update.
You what?
Update.
Update what?
Phasmophobia.
Oh.
That ghost hunting game I like so much.
Yeah, I remember.
And apparently it's a lot harder now.
Well, you ought to start playing again.
I may.
Allison used to play a game called Phasmophobia, and it was like a paranormal investigation thing. And you had to go into the haunted buildings and find
out what kind of ghost it was.
Yeah, find out what kind of ghost it was, and you had to, gather certain forms of evidence that would lead you to determine if it was a ghoul or a poltergeist or whatever case it may be. It was kind of scary though, because there were some areas where you would just be kind of walking along, and you would actually sometimes see the figure, and it would just like pop into the screen.
Chase you and kill you too.
Well, yeah, but it's still not the shock value of having it
and it's
become visible all of a sudden.
It's available in VR. I can't imagine playing it.
Oh yeah, VR, that would be a little bit much,
yeah,
probably.
Not interested. It was scary enough on the computer.
Yes, she did, Stephanie. She found it. It was in the drawer full of the other ones that she's got.
It was just under
It was just under one in a way that she didn't see it when she went through it, but she found it. And we
after much stress,
tried some things with the printer and copy and pasting information and stuff yesterday that got her helped out in organizing the painting she's doing. So she was a happy camper, happy wife.
Yeah, you ought to show him my logbook.
I will. You want me to? Did I not show that?
I don't know. You may have.
No, I showed the one you did the artwork on the outside of it.
This is my logbook. That's why I'm diamond paint. Shelly will appreciate that too.
Oh. I want to show y'all Allison's logbook that she keeps up with her paintings in. It's kind of funny. It says, I diamond paint so I don't kill people. And then she keeps up with all the ones she's working on and puts pictures of them in it, and it's got the color pattern and stuff like that she's doing. But we thought that was funny.
It made sense to me.
Hello, Mr. Southern Metal. So, Southern Metal, how are you today? High Pockets answered my question earlier, but I've got a couple of things I need to ship out. And one is just a little Mercury dime that I'm sending to Patrick Johnson for his album. And so it's not necessary to do first class mail or anything like that for something like that, is it? I mean, and I never really thought about it, but you don't get any insurance with first class mail, do you?
Seaweed knows what to talk about.
What'd Seaweed say?
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Oh yeah, yep. This is true.
Sparkle's my favorite color.
So there's really no advantage to Well, good. This is a good time to ask you a shipping question. To not sending something just stamped, like something as small as this one dime. Just slip it into a card envelope that I've got with and have it covered with aluminum card with a cardboard card stock, and it should ship fine like that, right? To get to Patrick, and then I've got two $50 proof that I need to send to Seaweed, and I'll carry it to the post office and maybe do first class mail with it. But with first class, you don't get any kind of insurance, do you? Not, because I don't ever remember them asking me for insurance, how much insurance I wanted. I know that priority mail comes with $50 worth of insurance. So with first class, you're really not getting anything with it. For a single coin, small envelope. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Southern Metal. There's a major machine doubling on that 2007. I had, let's see. I had the 2010 and the 99. Priority mail though comes with, I mean, not first class. No, it doesn't come with it. The priority mail comes with insurance. It comes with $50. First class doesn't have insurance. So yeah, I've got the 2010 and a 99, 1999 that she was looking for. Yeah, that's, yep. And here's how you call it, that shadow doubling, because you can see when I turn it, it goes away. So if you want to know if it's an actual DDO or if it's something, or if it's machine doubling, or like Southern Metal called it shadow doubling, when you turn the coin a little bit, it goes away. So that's one way you can figure that out. Yeah, I saw her ask you about those, and I had a bunch of proof that I had gotten. So I went through them, and I had those two that she was looking for, so I've got those done. I just need to get them in the mail to her. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that when you turn it and change the shading on the light like that, it goes away. It still looks darn good though. It still makes you want to say, trying to wade my way through these more modern pennies to get with to get to my copper. All these people have been finding these floating roof coins, and I want to get in on some of that too. And then I would keep getting drawn back to this Eagle game. I was watching some of the highlights here at halftime. Jalen Hurts is doing really well today.
Not today. He's kind of just getting him to sleep.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's spending it with his family too.
You heading out?
Yeah.
Just gonna go hang out with Cole for a while.
Okay. You come back this afternoon sometime. Think about doing La Fiesta today.
All right.
Let me know.
Will do.
No rush.
Yeah, no rush.
Be careful, babe.
I will be.
Love you.
Love you.
They canceled our game today.
Yeah, I thought they might. I saw that post from Nate. I think it was.
Nobody was up to it.
I understand that. It's a pretty 98, but not the wide AM. It's another 98. Not the wide AM. There's also a lot of errors for that FG being on the wrong year. I don't know how common they are, but I've been trying to look for those too. Some of these coins, pennies, are in such rough shape, it wouldn't matter if they were errors or not. They wouldn't have any value aside from just saying you've got the error. This is one of those that has an FG error on it, or possibility. Also possible doubling on the columns, which this one doesn't have. Yeah, Southern Metal. I'm using this book that Stephanie sent me, the Strike It Rich with Pocket Change. and I'm looking at just about every coin. I'm not looking at the shield cents unless it's a 2015 or something with a known doubling. I can't. I don't guess you heard of my trials and tribulations, Tony, on the bank, but I was getting and doing some box swaps with Regions Bank here in the town I live in, and I made an offhanded comment the last time I was there that I asked the teller if she knew of a bank, local that wasn't a Region that I might be able to order halves. And she piped up and said, we can order halves for you. And I said, well, great. She said, just talk to the teller over there and tell him what you'd like to get. So I went to the guy and I ordered, asked him if he would get me 2 boxes of halves. And he said, yeah. And he took my number and said it would be sometime next week when their next truck ran that they would be able to get them. And so I was looking at Tuesday or Thursday of next week, being able to get my first 2 boxes of halves. And on, put his link up there, and I may stop my stream for everybody to go support Copper Owl. I did not know he was going to be on today, so. So he's got a stream coming up for a 300 sub giveaway and a quarter hunt. So I guess that maybe he couldn't get halves. So he will have a stream today. So. Okay, so anyway, Southern Metal, I'm sorry. So now, the rest of the story, Southern Metal. So they said they would get me 2 halves, and then Friday I saw that I had a call from Regions Bank, so I took the time to try to answer it since they had called me, and she called me to inform me that they would not be getting me halves. And not only that, they would no longer switch boxes of nickels out with me. So pretty much said that they didn't want anything to do with coin exchanges at all. So I've lost my whole little deal that I was doing with them and swapping boxes of nickels and getting pennies. And I never gotten halves from them, but they told me they would, and then they called me Friday, and the lady said that her manager called her into the office and said that they wouldn't be doing that. So now I'm don't have anything. I can't get any kind of coin. I'm going to have to go and beat the pavement, I guess, to try to find a bank that will do that for me. But Region shut me down big time. And I had the different banks set up already. My credit union has a coin machine, so when I would get halves from Pa, I would take them back to the credit union and deposit them in the coin machine. So I already had that side of it in good shape, but now I can't get nothing. So that's why I'm looking at pennies so hard, because that's all I got. Yeah, I'm going to. It was funny though, Southern Metal. I had 2 boxes of nickels that I was going to carry back. So they called me and told me that they wouldn't be doing that no more. So Friday when I got off work, I got off early enough to get there before they closed. So I get there and I get out and I lug those 2 boxes of nickels in, and they can see me when I come through the door. And the line on the tellers were 2 or 3 deep, so I could see them they kept cutting their eyes, looking at me kind of leery from the side, And so it finally come my time to step up to the counter, and as I brought those nickels up, the guy behind the counter started doing like, no, 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 no. And I said, look, I want the deposit. And he's like, oh, okay. So I deposited both I deposited both boxes, and then I said, "Yep," and now I want to close the account. And he wouldn't let me close it because the deposit just went in, so I got to go back next week and close the account. But my credit union, they won't give me nothing. They were the original one that I had so much trouble with. I was going by the credit union and getting, 5 rows, 10 rows, whatever they would let me have. And then one day I went in to get my rows, and the lady asked me how many I wanted, and I said, well, look, I'll take all I can get, but I've been getting 5 or 10 rows of each denomination, and next thing I know, they won't let me have any either. I mean, and they treat you like a third world citizen if you come in there and asking for coins. Never seen anything like it. It's so frustrating. But it is what it is. So I got pennies. Y'all know what pennies? I got pennies. And I think what I'm actually going to end up doing to be able to do coins at all is just going back to getting 4 rows or 5 rows or whatever, and just doing a small hunt every now and then until I can take some time off to really get out and beat the banks, so to speak, and try to find one that will work with me. And I even thought I need a home equity line started up to do some work on my house, and I thought about using that as leverage to maybe get a bank that would help me with coins. But what do you do then? You take a home equity line out with them, and then they all of a sudden decide they don't want to do it no more, and you're still stuck with a home equity line with them. So that's probably not a very good leveraging tool. It may be to get you in the door, but it doesn't mean they got to continue to do that. So I don't know. Maybe I just got into this hobby and this amount at a bad time. Okay, so thank you for, hey, Woozy. So Southern Metal, maybe more information you want to share on a live stream, but generally what does it take to have a business account? So let's just say I'm doing an internet business, walkers, coins, and collectibles, and I want to open a business account. What kind of money are you looking at to run the account? Because that's an option. And the other thing is, maybe they just don't want to fool with it, but why wouldn't Region say, look, Mr. Cargyle, we've been doing this, but we kind of need to go in this direction if you want to continue this. But they don't want to try to offer any kind of incentive to continue to do business with them, or work with you on where you're at with what you want to do for business with them. But as far as the business account goes, I wouldn't have a problem starting a business account. I mean, but I just don't know what's entailed with that. Do you have to have a business license? That's another thing.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a business license to have a business account with a bank?
Probably.
So those are all my questions for the business account thing. I would love to go and open a business account if it would ease up my ability to get coins every now and then. And look, I'm not voracious. I'm not a voracious coin searcher. I do it when I have time, so it's not like I would be doing a pile of spare time and wanting to get 15 boxes a week. Okay, well, I can do that. Maybe we can email some back and forth, Southern Metal, because that's what I need to do. I need to get them to where they're dealing with me as a business partner instead of just holding an account with them. Okay, don't need a business license.
Good.
He said that I can go online and get a federal tax ID for free.
Uh-huh.
And then you can incorporate for about $100. Create an S corp, and then you can have a.
That would be the way to go, then.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Vern. Well, I can do that. I mean, it might not something I might be able to pull all that together right now, but I can certainly start pooling my resources until I get a couple grand put back into savings that I could have in there. But those are all questions I didn't know. Number one, what kind of did you have to keep to have a business account? Did you have to have a business license? You know, all of those are questions that I've been wanting to ask. On how to do that, you know, because obviously Regions is ordering hash for somebody, because that teller would not have told me out of the blue like that they could. Oh, well, cool. I'm sorry, Shelley. We'll be praying for her. Hope she's okay. We'll be okay.
Oh, no.
But they were obviously ordering hash for somebody, or she wouldn't have told me they were ordering them. You know, that they could order them for me. So there must be some kind of requirement at that bank that would allow you to order coins. So why don't they just say, you know, we can continue to do this, but we'll need a business account or whatever. I hope your aunt gets better. She's not in there with COVID, is she, Shelley? If that might be too personal. And if so, just don't answer. How are you doing, Woozy? I was thinking about you the other day. I seemed like I had been missing you in the streams here and there, and I was hoping you were okay. But I think I ended up seeing you somewhere where you were interacting with another stream, so. Okay, well, I hope she recovers,
We'll be praying.
Shelley. Yeah, that was the thing, Southern Metal. These tellers were awesome, you know, as far as helping me out. And I always tried to be and do things that would make their job a little easier. Now, I haven't done as much as maybe you and Paul have done, y'all have talked about, you know, taking them chocolate regular and what have you. But I was going by once a month, you know. I did one year before Christmas. I bought some gift cards for Chick-fil-A and took them by, you know, just to say thank you. But it wasn't like I was going in 3 times a week looking for coins. And it is a pain to go in there with those big boxes and you know, the tellers stop up to swap those boxes out and stuff like that. But the ladies there had been more than nice when I would come to do that. And, you know, I took extra effort in how I organized my boxes so that they could make sure that all 50 rows were in there without a lot of fuss. And, you know, I would always go in and ask them if they were too busy before I brought the coins in, you know.
Or you'd call ahead.
You know, and I would call ahead. I just know, I felt like I did everything I could to make the transaction as easy as possible. You didn't miss anything here, Woozy. But, you know, it really surprised me that they called me out of the blue like that and just totally cut me off. I'm glad I answered, though, because it would have been worse if I had went in the branch and had to deal with that. Although I might have asked to talk to this so-called manager just to see what's going on. I don't know. I hate the stress. I just want to search some coins. I don't understand why there's got to be so much hoopla associated with it. So I'm going to make myself a laundry list, Southern Metal, to do that. And then I'm going to find another bank to open a business account with that will help me get coins. So are there any DDRs on any of the pennies beside Lincoln on a Log. I haven't really seen much on anything but the '09 early years, formative years, early years. The '09 P is the only thing that I've seen to look for varieties on. And there's probably 6 pages for the '09, this one, the early years, or is this the formative years? There's the early years, the formative years. There's 4 different varieties for that penny. Yeah, the '83 has a bunch of stuff. '83 is a big year for errors in the pennies. And there was also, that's close enough to the transition year in '82 that there's been a few stamped on copper. Yeah, I saw those, Vern. And I've kind of, for the sake of moving through this jug of pennies I'm looking at, I've just decided not to look at shield cents right now. I'm sticking to the memorials. But I am fixing to, I don't know, I don't have, I keep saying, I've probably got 3 or 4 more hand tools to come out of that bucket before I move on to the, copper cents. So I want to find me one of those Shelley Lauren floating roof pennies. Everybody's finding floating roofs but me. Yeah, my credit union is the worst ever, seaweed. If you take rolled coins back to them, you have to write your account number on every roll, or they won't take them. If you hand roll them.
I know, you might short them a penny.
Yeah, and then, you know, the worst part of that is I've gotten some rolls from them before that they made somebody else write their account number on there, and they took a pen and scribbled out the account number on the roll, and I could still see the account number. A pen and scribbled out the account number on the roll, and I could still see the account number.
What are you doing?
I opened the wrong.
Oh, it's like, what?
I was looking to see if Copper Owl was streaming yet. It looked like he is.
Or Scout Troop.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I've been on now for a couple hours, 2.5 hours, so let's do a pause for the afternoon for a little bit. Copper Owl is on right now doing a 300 sub giveaway and a quarter hunt. So let's do a raid over to Copper Owl and support him on his 300 subscribers. He's at 304 now, and let's do that for a few hours this afternoon. And I don't know if I'll be on later tonight, but I will be on some in the early morning. If anybody's getting up, getting ready to work, I may do an hour here or there before I go to bed, as I'm on night shift for the next 2 weeks. But I think I'll sign off here, and let's throw some support over to Copper Owl. He finally made it to 300 subs, so let's give him congratulations there and support for his stream this afternoon. I appreciate you guys hanging in with me today, this afternoon, and we'll do it again real soon. Maybe I'll get through the rest of these pennies off air as I watch football games and what have you this afternoon, and watch Copper Owl. We can come back with some copper cents later and maybe find some better errors there. So y'all have a good afternoon. See you at Copper Owls. Let's do a raid to Copper